And we're back. Episode 2 of the Unfolded podcast. We're here tonight with Bobby DeMaio. He is the founder and CEO of D-Law Development and D-Law Acquisitions. So thanks for coming in, Bob. I'm pretty excited to hear about your journey.
Yeah, man. I appreciate it. I appreciate the opportunity having me on. I'm excited for you. Unfold it.
Yeah, thanks, man. Yeah, a little homage to the laundry venture we're on right now. So a little help from ChatGPT on that. Went through like 50 different names to figure out which one could fit, and that one seemed to have a nice ring to it. So just went with it. So
yeah, I love it.
Thanks, man. But so Bob, you guys have an interesting story.
We do.
You're one of the only people. So I've dabbled in real estate for 7-8 years now, let's say. And you're one of the only people that has came up to me and said, hey, I want to buy a rental property. Like everyone does it. Like, I'm thinking about buying a rental property. I want the cash flow. I want to quit my job and just play golf and manage my properties.
Yeah.
So you've actually done that, like very successfully in a short period of time.
Yeah.
And just your journey, like watching you guys start from that 1 to 2 properties and to where you're at now, very excited for you guys to see where it's going to go and proud in a sense, you know what I mean? Like I tell people all the time, my boy just built a rental portfolio of 50 to 60 houses quick and they're not stopping. So, if you want to just how'd you guys start off? You were in an office job originally, right?
Yeah. So when we bought our first rental property, I was working for a marketing company, Reminder Media, that actually markets real estate agents. So I was talking to agents all day and doing the marketing for them. And just talking to them made me want to finally learn more about it and kind of starting the investment game. So, Dean and Kevin, we joined together and we bought our first rental property. I believe it was in December of 2019. And you or your business partner, Chris Ciccone, represented us. He got us our first one. It was in Briarcliff, Glenolden. And at the time, we didn't really know too much what we were doing. We were just like, all right, we want to buy a rental property. We know we have the manpower with Kevin being a union carpenter at the time and me knowing somewhat about real estate that we can make it work. And what we did was we bought a house. We got a really good deal on it. It was, I think, less than $100,000 at the time back in 2019. And
the good old days of real estate. So that was an MLS deal too, right?
Yeah, it was on market. I mean, I think Chris found it or we found it on Zillow. And we got it for $93,000. And we bought it. We were all working full time. So we were really just kind of doing it sometimes after work, mainly the weekends. We were rehabbing. I was actually doing the work myself, which is crazy to think now, but
threw some work boots on, got out there.
Exactly.
I guess we're having Lawler as a partner, right? He went to Williamson Trade School and he's been a carpenter since we were out of high school.
His whole life, yeah.
So
he's been
at least he got guidance, right?
Yeah, he's been working for his dad, so his whole life he's been learning construction. So, yeah, I mean, having him, and then obviously Matt White, he's my cousin. He's HVAC, DWD. They're big. Him being able to do all our HVAC work, our plumbing, Kevin to be able to do the flooring, put the new cabinets in, kitchen, being able to renovate the house. And at that time, we were pulling all our money back out of it and then buying the next one, right? We were using all the cash with the equity to buy the next one with a down payment. And, pretty much we bought another one in Briarcliff after that. So then we had 2. We got a renter in there. We were cash flowing pretty good. And then we bought another one in Briarcliff. So we were at 3 at this time, I think within probably our first maybe year because we were all working full time. And then after that, we were like, you know what? We kind of got a system down. I hate working a 9 to 5. I hate working for somebody else. I always wanted to do my own thing. So we were like, all right, let's just go all in on this. And we ended up kind of just exploding from there, starting out in Delco and then really shifting to South Philly area. That's where we buy most of our properties. we got a duplex in Havertown, so that's nice. Delco, South Philly, and then Florida also. We do got one house in Florida that we Airbnb.
There you go. So I'm going to double back, but for right now, how many doors are you up to?
So we're at 32 doors. We're at 32 units, and we're under contract on 2 more. So we're going to close on one on the 17th, and we're going to close on another one on the 24th. And we're ready. We're ready to go. We're looking to really ramp things up. I mean, I'm looking to buy at least 3 houses a month going forward. So we're trying to get to that 100 doors, and then even I'm sure when we get there, start buying hotels, buying resorts, just keep moving up.
So just like no end in sight. I know some people, they'll limit their mindset, right? They'll be like, yeah, like I'm just going to get to 25 doors. You guys are like, you're going for it all.
Yeah.
So like, even if you land halfway from that, it's quite the achievement. So I'm going to be a little selfish on this episode. Like, so a lot of people hit me up and they're like, you know, how do I get my first property? So can we double back to that?
Yeah,
and you go, you know, from having minimal knowledge in real estate to like, what was, all right, so first step, you hit up your close friends that are realtors, right? Found a house. Now, how did you know to run the numbers on that? Did you guys wing it? Did you guys, now like you have like a kind of like a different dynamic in your partnership from my understanding. Is it like Dean's like the finance guy?
Yes.
You're kind of like sales and acquisitions, Lawler's construction.
Pretty much. Yeah, you got it down. I would say we run me and Kevin, we do all the project management with the house. He runs all the construction with the guys, where they got to be, the schedules, what days, where, you know, what we need done by this certain date. Whereas I'm a licensed agent now, and I'm looking for the properties. We're closing on them. I'm dealing with, you know, title, what the rehab budget is going to, if the deal works, really, the rehab budget on it. Making sure we're closing by a certain day so we can get that done and get the cash from that to be able to buy the next house.
Okay, so you're just like the BRRRR strategy.
Yeah, pretty much is what we do. Is the BRRRR strategy. Yes.
So on those first couple houses, like how did you fund it? Did you guys pull your own money together? Did you like reach out to people and like crowdfund in a sense, like family members, like aunts, uncles, cousins, sisters, whatever?
Yeah.
What was that process?
Yeah, so we were lucky. We actually don't have any other investors or anybody else's money that went in the beginning. It was just us 3. We all threw up our own personal money, and then we got a regular mortgage. That's what we did with it. So we didn't even do a bridge loan. We did a regular mortgage, bought the property, and then we started an LLC, obviously, but we were funding everything, the entire construction, the renovation, just through ourselves with no.
Okay, so you weren't leveraging any of the construction loans, like no hard money, no refi. What's the new loan that everyone uses? The DSCR. That's like a big product right now. The debt service coverage loan.
Yes.
Or a ratio loan.
Right. Yeah, we use those. I mean, that's pretty much, it's a 30-year fix. It's just making sure that you're cash flowing on the house, that, you know, whoever the tenant is, that the rent is going to be able to cover the mortgage plus more.
Okay, so how many properties did you buy under your personal names before you switched it to LLCs? And then did you end up switching those original ones to LLCs?
Good question. So, yeah, the first one, I want to say all 3 in Briarcliff, we bought with our personal names. And then the first 2 we bought in our personal names. And then the third one in Briarcliff is when we finally used LLC. Okay,
and that's when you started using the bridge type loans?
So, no, not necessarily. We bought it with an LLC, and we actually didn't use any bridge money. We just bought it to protect ourselves in an LLC, and then we funded it ourselves. We used the money from the last 2 houses to put down as a down payment and then also do the construction.
Oh, so you basically got like a standard mortgage through your LLC.
Yes.
Okay, now do they still offer products like that?
I believe so,
do
yeah.
They? Oh, no way.
There's a lot of different lenders out there, creative financing, that can do it for sure.
Okay. So now you kind of got in at a good time.
Yeah.
Right? So like you basically like we're just rolling equity. When did you guys start like actually paying yourselves to the point where you're like, hey, we could walk away from our day jobs and like make this our career?
Yeah.
Was it like house 3, house 10? I remember I saw you. You had 3 houses, and then the next time I saw you, you had 15. It felt like it was, I don't know, a year or two span. The difference there.
Yeah. So I believe, it was about, it was our 4th house we started working on. When midway through working on the 4th house, we both left our full-time jobs and became full-time real estate investors.
Okay.
Yeah. So at that time, we were able, so we finished that 4th house, and then on the 5th one is when we started doing bridge loans. And by doing bridge loans, instead of using all the money from one house, right, we would use all that equity and put it all into the next house. The reason why we were able to grow so fast is really by that 4th house, we pulled the money out, and instead of buying one, we used that equity to be able to purchase, I believe, 2 or 3 right off the bat, because we were able to use hard money.
Okay, so so you had that equity from the first few, and then instead of just putting like $100,000 down, you're like, oh, we can use 20, 30 grand.
Exactly.
And spread it across 3 properties, get the construction money from the bank, and then rinse and repeat.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yep. They fund the entire rehab, which was great. We would just have to put down, at the time, I think it was a little bit more. We might have to do 20% then, or 15%. Now we're like at the diamond level, just because we own so many properties. We're experienced, which comes in. We got great credit. So we're at the top tier where we only have to put 10% down now. So, I mean, that's big. Being able to really spread your funds around 10%, say instead of putting 50% down on one house, you can now put 10% down on 5 houses.
Yeah, you're leveraging.
Right.
Leveraging your money.
Exactly.
That's how all those rich dudes do it, right?
Use other people's money, right?
Yeah, OPM. There's all kinds of acronyms.
Yep.
Right. Hey, that's half the battle sometimes, like figuring this stuff out.
Yeah,
you know?
is.
So now I'm just going to stay on that transitionary period for a moment. Like, did you guys save money before you jumped out, or are you just kind of like confident enough that you're like, yeah, we got this? Like, did you like, were you living at home? Did you have your own house? What was your lifestyle like at that time that you were just like able to make such a leap into becoming a full-time investor?
Yeah, good question. So me and Dean actually bought our first house. We lived in it in South Philly. So we bought a house. Me and him were both living there. That was the first real investment, even though it was a house that we were both living in. This was 6 years. This was back in 2018. So a while ago. We bought that as an investment property that we were like, all right, we're going to live in this for a little bit, and then we're eventually going to rent it out, right? And then when we bought the Franklin house, that was our 4th house, and we were like, all right, we're ready to go all in. At that point, we had some money saved up. Like, I had enough money where I was comfortable. I was like, all right, if this doesn't work out, I got at least a couple months, but I was a salesperson, and I'm like, I can get a job pretty much anywhere, I'm like, sales jobs are pretty easy to get if you're good. And at that point, I was transitioning from Reminder Media. I left and I joined Car Healthcare Realty. So I was actually a real estate agent strictly for doctors, commercial dentists, doctors. I was helping them find medical spaces. And you only work with the tenant and buyer side, which is rare to see,
So that's kind of crazy. So like you took like a semi-transition, like you went into the field. Now, was that a salary? Was that commission?
So that was commission, but the car actually gave us a lot of leads, which was nice.
Okay, so
like,
they were pumping you.
Right. It's not like you're hunting on your own. I mean, you are also hunting, but you're getting leads from them. And I left Reminder Media, so I actually left to go to the car, and then I was working at another job selling software where I got a pretty high base, and they were paying for my car. So I gave that. I worked there for like a year while I was transitioning on that 4th house, and then finally left that. And at that point, I mean, I had money stacked, but I was really betting on myself, betting on ourselves. We were going after it.
So you had that confidence going in. Here, pull your mic a little. There you go.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, get that a little close. There you go.
Better?
Yeah, just for the recording. So you were already in sales. So your mindset was like, I can sell me this pen.
Right.
Right. Ask mentality. So
Jordan
that's
Belfort.
awesome. But now for cans,
Yeah.
right, this is tough because I'm in a similar situation, right? Like I still have my W-2 job, blue collar worker. We make a really good salary. It's like golden handcuffs, they call it, right? And it's definitely tough. Like he was a union carpenter. people probably thought he was nuts.
Yeah.
That he was like, I'm quitting, and me and Bob and Dean are gonna build some houses, right?
Yeah.
Like, did you guys get a lot of like kickback from your family members?
Everybody, yeah,
Everybody,
yeah,
right?
especially him, man. He was, yeah, he got it. Everyone's like, "Are you crazy?" And now a lot of people were like, "You're nuts." Yeah, both of us, really, because I'm like, I got this big salary. They're paying for my car. They're paying for my gas. I have a lot of freedom. I had a good gig, and also doing the car stuff just because I was like, all right, I want to start. I was getting obsessed with real estate, really, and I was like, I want to learn more about this. And then it got to the point where I was like, I don't want to have to listen to anybody anymore. I just want to be my own boss and be able to do what I want and grow my own thing. Working for yourself, I feel like you work a lot harder knowing that, like, each house that I'm buying, yeah, it's great. I'm making money on it, but it's an asset that's going to be mine until I sell it down the road.
Yeah. The old, what's it, eat what you kill
Yeah.
aspect of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So let's touch on that a little bit. So we got through, you guys left your jobs, started buying houses. Then, like, what do you guys live off now? Now, do you live off cash flow? Do you live off, I know, like, a lot of times when you renovate a house, there's a lot of equity within it. You
Right.
can, you can pay yourself from the draws
Mm-hmm.
in a sense. And then just, is that,
Yes. Mm-hmm.
okay.
Yeah, so we get a salary, I guess. It's a draw payment. We get paid every 2 weeks. We pay ourselves, I guess, for, running the projects, being the project manager. It's our salary of just really building the company.
Okay, and then that's like determined by, you're like, all right, we're gonna do 15 houses this year, and you gauge it that way, and then just kind of, or do you go by what is currently like what are the, like, what's the setup like that?
So it's like it's a mixture, I mean, it really, if we're buying houses, we're able to do the work for a pretty good price where we're able to pay ourselves on top of it for managing the property. So as long as we're still buying, which we are, we're gonna be able to have that salary. And then also the houses we already own, we're cash flowing on. So that's just free money that's going into our business bank account.
Okay, yeah, because you bought them at such a good time. Like, they're obviously, rent's going up drastically, almost maybe double, or at least a 30-40%.
Yeah, I would say
Since
30.
an initial purchase, right?
From the initial purchase, yeah, they're cash flowing really well for sure. And now even like we were buying a lot last year, and the interest rates were not good, and it made things a little tighter, made things harder. But we were still able to find the deals. That's what it's all about, even when times get tough or things, certain deals, like you're like, oh, it's a bad time to buy. Is it though? There's always deals out there. I feel like you can always make something work if you're looking at the right spots and, really just focusing on the areas where it's going to work, where you're going to be able to make money on it.
For sure. So that's a big, I feel like that if you can make that mental leap of that perception that opportunity is always out there if you're looking for it, like, I fall victim to it. You know what I mean? And it's like, maybe this last deal didn't go great for me. So I'm like, there's no good deals out there. The market's tough right now. Like,
Right.
I'm just speaking that into existence. But like, I try to catch myself and be like, no, there's deals everywhere. There's opportunity everywhere.
Right.
Because if your mind's open to it, you're going to see it.
You're going to
Because
find
if you're just looking down at the ground complaining, you're not going to see, this house held up by a 2x6, you know what I mean, right next to you. So.
No, yeah, exactly. I mean, it's really about having that motivation to be able to not give up and be able to, say there's not a deal right now. It's like, all right, well, I know there's going to be one. I believe that there's going to be one coming up that's going to work and it's going to make us money.
Yeah. Now, what do you guys do to find your deals? Because that's also a big thing, right? Everyone comes to me, they know I'm a licensed agent, and they're like, hey, find me a deal. And I'm like, I would love to find you a deal, but if I find a deal, I'm probably going to buy it myself. I'm sorry. Right. So like, what do you guys do? You do outbound marketing? Is it from your social sphere? I mean, being a realtor, people call you about things, so you're just like in that realm. But what do you guys feel is like your biggest like influx of how you get these solid deals in a tougher market?
Yeah, so I would say a mixture, obviously being a licensed agent, having access to the MLS, looking in Zillow, but just from the relationships you build. I mean, from being in real estate, it's crazy, like I have so many different agents that are sending me deals, calling me every day. so many different wholesalers. Off market deals are the best deals. That's what we're really. I mean, they're the best ones in my opinion. Just because there's not a bunch of investors already going after it. I mean, there is, but less investors. I would say like that you're going up against as far as competition and certain guys. I mean, a lot of wholesalers know certain areas we want to buy in, like 19146 in South Philadelphia. That's really where we buy right now. And they're, as soon as they come across a deal, they know who to call, and they know that not only that we're going to close, they've done deals with us before, so they trust us. They know like a lot of investors, there's a lot of people out there who say they want to buy a house and their credit's not good or something falls through, they don't have the funds. They know we're legit. They know we're buying all day, every day in 19146. We're going to close the deal. So a lot of wholesalers they're calling us first when the good deals are coming in 19146, and we're able to get those locked up before a lot of other investors will be able to even see them.
Now, do you think you also get a little better of a deal as well, knowing it's a sure shot?
Yeah.
Do you think these wholesalers are like, all right, we're not going to go for that 20K assignment. We'll give you 10, 15, or do you just talk them down? Like, what's that process like?
A little bit of both. I mean, most of them know where my number's going to be at in certain areas. So if they go too high, they don't even call me really, unless it's at a certain number or lower. And then once I see the number, we go and look at the property. We check it out. Is there any foundation issues, like is the structural all good? Is it all just interior? Like how much is our rehab budget going to be on this? And then after walking it through, checking it out, we're able to have our number. And for the most part, we're getting them down on their assignment fees, but there has been some deals that worked really well for us, and there was a pretty big assignment fee, so they got paid out, and we were still happy with it.
Yeah, win-wins.
Exactly.
That's good.
Yeah.
Now, I've noticed like a lot of the houses you get, like you're not just doing cosmetic flips, like you're doing like full-blown, you're doing the variances out the front and the back. Like you're doing some serious construction.
Yeah.
What's the lead time on that for you guys? Like, is it obviously like dealing with the city? I'm sure you figured ways around things and met people to expedite the processes, but how long? What's that process look like? Is it like it takes you 6 months, 9 months?
Yeah.
Does it vary between property? Like what's that process?
So yeah, it really depends on each property. Some of those bigger construction jobs, we're getting them dirt cheap. We're getting them cheaper because then we're like, all right, it's going to cost us more money to renovate it, and it's going to cost us more time. But for the most part, right now and over the last year, I would say our turnaround time, we were trying to buy a house and completely be done walking out of there within 2 to 3 months.
So, that's crazy.
Yeah. So
that's a full renovation in Philadelphia, 2 to 3 months.
Yes. So
Okay.
45 days is really, I would say, the goal. I mean, we've been doing it. I mean, we have so many properties now. It's just systems. It's all about making sure certain guys are there on certain days, and we're able to do it. I mean, we've done some houses in 30 days, 1 month. I mean, from start to finish, closed on it, completely renovated, done, 30 days. So the quicker we're able to get done, the better, the faster we're able to pull money and get to the next
On to
one.
the
Put a
next.
tenant in there.
So I know like systems is like a big, like key term in real estate, and I think we get what systems are,
Right.
but like, what like is a system and a process for you? Like, is it a computer program? Is it like a piece of paper that you bring with you when you walk each property? Could you go to like almost like a micro level breakdown of just maybe touch on one, just so people can kind of grasp like what we're talking about there?
Yeah. So, like, for example, a house we're buying right now, okay, on the 17th. This house, if you walk in, it's a disaster. Like, the roof's coming down. If you walk into the living room and you go into the kitchen, I mean, the walls are coming down, the roof's coming down. That's gonna take some time, a little bit of time. But really, we look at it. I mean, this is where Kevin's specialty is, but we're looking at it. Okay, first thing we got to do, demo the entire place. Take everything out. Anything that's not staying. Some of the drywall, if it's good, we'll keep it. But certain different parts we're gonna have to replace. We're gonna go in, demo it. We're gonna do our roofs. We do our windows first, and then After that, we will make sure all the framing's good. We'll drywall. Once it's drywalled, we'll then paint. Once it's painted, we'll do the flooring, and then after the flooring's in, we'll do the kitchen. So that's the big selling part. You know, brand new kitchen, brand new cabinets, quartz or granite. We typically do quartz.
Yeah, a little nicer upgrades.
Yeah,
So-
backsplash.
Are you guys using subs for all that?
So
And, like, I know, like, from my experience, like, I did a few projects this year, and you know, good contractors, but it can almost be like herding cats in a sense because stuff changes. You know, settlement gets bumped a couple days, material is a day early, a day
Right.
late. You know, there's just so many variables to a project. What is like? Do you make these contractors like sign I've heard some people like make them sign contracts. Like you have 15 days to have these windows installed, like after permits issued. Do your contractors handle their own permits, like stuff like that? Like, is it vary per job or?
yeah, so it depends on each job. We're actually super lucky, and it's the reason why we're able to grow so fast. It's just because of our connections. Yeah, I mean, we have a group of guys that work for us full time that are able to do most of the stuff, and then we got Ant who does our roofing and windows, and we work great with him. He knows, hey, I'm closing on this house. I need the roof done and the windows the next day. Pretty much he's there the next day doing the roof, doing the windows, and then they get that done, say, depending on how bad everything is, sometimes a weekend, sometimes like a week, okay? So that's done there. And then Kevin and our team really kind of do the rest. They do everything else besides... We got Greg Shields, who does the electric. He does all our electric work. And then we have Matt Whitey, does all our plumbing and HVAC. And Kevin helps him with all that. So we're lucky because mostly everything's in-house. There's only a few people that we're really relying on to be done by a certain deadline.
Yeah, so that's huge. That is gigantic right
Yeah.
there. Like, not only do you have you got reputable contractors, but they're all in your network already,
Yeah,
right?
we
Like,
go
they're
out to
close
dinner with
friends.
them. Yeah, we're close
Yeah.
friends with
So
everybody.
it's not like
it's-
it's not just some guy you were referred to by somebody and you found on Facebook. So, but that stuff takes time to place that together, right?
Yeah, I mean, it does. Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, just closing on one house and being able to be like, all right, we need to have this house done within 45 days tops, you know? So we need our certain people, we need these roofs and windows done. We need this shipment of flooring to be in by this date. You know, we need the drywall to be up by this date. So it's all pretty much project managing is the reason why we're able to scale the way we are.
Nice. And then I saw you guys connected with Michael Ho.
Yeah, that's Kevin just did. We just started
That's
buying
good.
materials off him. Yeah, I saw you're pretty or you're connected with him. You guys are part of like the same.
Yeah,
Group
we're
or
in a
something?
mastermind group
Yeah.
together. I met him through real estate, but I really like what he's doing right now. You know, he's it's like back in the gold rush days when everyone was running to mine gold. He figured out he can sell some shovels, but he's gotten really good logistically, and he's got the eye for the renovations too. Right, so like you can call him and be like, "We're thinking this." He'll be like, "Oh, we got these tiles in. They're at this price. He's going to save you a ton of money."
Oh wow.
So stuff like that should definitely add to the expedition of your projects for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, like I've used them on a few projects recently, and it's kind of nice, like a one-stop shop instead of like running back and forth to Home Depot a million times or
Yeah.
all that. So
You use them
and-
for
and-
laundromats, or do you use them
Yeah.
like for real estate, your clients?
Yeah, I've used them for some flips. I've used them for the laundromat. I've sent them to clients, and he just had an idea and ran with it. So pretty excited to see where he brings that.
Yeah. So what exactly is he doing? Like how long has he been in business for? Is it just like a supply house? Is it more of like a little bit of everything?
Yeah, so he linked up with his cousin Vinny. Cousin Vinny. It's pretty funny to say. My cousin Vinny.
Yeah.
So Vinny owns Element Granite and Quartz. So they're like a really big, kitchen counter tile outfitter out of the Northeast. So they have like a monster warehouse. And I guess Mike, was, buying countertops off them, and I think noticed like they could join forces, utilize social media, implement more marketing, utilize the space of the building, and start housing and selling other building materials for a discount. Mike was doing, I think last year he did somewhere around like 70 to 100 flips at one point in time.
Wow.
And it's like a single operator. Like I think it was just him. Towards the end, I think he got an executive assistant and then just his contractors. But just, ran a pretty tight ship. And I think because he was buying so much materials, he was able to make deals work because he was saving money on cost. Where, you know, some people maybe aren't doing that many and they're just paying whatever market value for everything from, you know, drywall, 2x4s, you know, electrical supplies, everything. So he was like, wow, I can help people save money and then make money in the interim. So it's like a win-win situation. Yeah, it's solving a problem in the construction field.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Right? Because like you do rely on your contractors, I think, for design and stuff. But when you go into like a lot of these warehouses, you're kind of using your own. You're like, oh, I think this tile looks good, it'll sell.
Right.
You know, he just flipped 100 homes and he knows like what finishes he used and the house sold in a day. He knows what finishes he used in the house sat a little longer. So I think that's what he's offering. And got really excited to see where it goes for him.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's exciting.
Yeah.
Now, do you know where he's doing flips at? Like, is it in Philly, Jersey, kind of all over?
So he's a little all over the place. I know him and this guy Santos originally were like, they were doing wholesaling. I think Santos still does wholesaling. I think he's out of Florida or like Reading. He's all over the place. So like, I mean, I've done listings from like down like in the beaches of Delaware.
Oh, wow.
So they're pretty widespread. Basically, if the numbers work, I think they were taking them down. But it seems like he transitioned more into this material logistics company rather than doing renovations. But it's tough. Like, I don't know how you are, but I know like if I'm working on something and it's a fault, right? Like I'm kind of controlling. I want to be able to go drive and see the progress. Like I feel weird buying something in Virginia,
right,
and just trusting some people that I don't know that it's going to go well.
100%.
You know?
Yeah,
so
I got
like,
the same. Yeah, same.
Like you did that.
me.
Like you bought that house in Florida. Like, did you guys just fly? Like, did you fly down there, find it? Did you call an agent down there? Were you hanging out at the bar and you're like, yeah, look at that house. We should just buy this right here.
A little bit of a mixture of everything. I mean, we were talking about it like, oh, we want to get a house in Florida. Let's get a house and start doing Airbnb and doing short-term rentals compared to just like year leases. And we were talking about it. I think we might have been at a bar. We were somewhere.
Definitely
most likely.
Definitely at a bar.
Probably like Barnes H-Town years ago.
Where's this? You in Fort Lauderdale?
No. So this one's actually on the beach in Daytona Beach. So it's in Daytona.
So you guys were at Bike Week.
Yeah.
Right.
I've never been to Bike Week or I've never been to Daytona 500.
Lawler kind of looks like a biker.
He does.
Like you put a bandana on that dude, like he has the biker.
Yeah, that's his
demeanor, right? Like that's him.
Yep, he loves that place.
For Daytona. So and that's a short-term rental.
Yeah, so that's short-term rentals. We do Airbnb there, but like it's big because of Bike Week. People love that Bike Week. There's always different events going on there. Daytona 500 obviously is the biggest one. But yeah, we were out. We were like, you know what? We want to get a house in Florida that we can go and like chill at, and you know have a house down there. Then also see if we can make some serious money off Airbnb. And we ended up searching online, and we found it. We called the agent. We went down there. It's actually a funny story. We all flew down there, and the agent, you would have thought, like, told us we're in PA. You know, we're doing a million things, and you think she would have gave us a heads up that a hurricane's coming to Florida. So we literally fly into Orlando. We rent a car. We drive 45 minutes to Daytona, and we get there when we were going to look at the house, like Daytona Beach, they were like, you have to evacuate. There's a hurricane coming. So we were there for less than 24 hours and we were on the flight home back to PA. And after we looked at it, but
get that hurricane discount. Half the house is missing.
You would think
half the price.
But we ended up, we're like, all right, we like it. Let's give it a go. You know, it's a condo, 2-bedroom, but yeah, I mean, it works. It makes good money. It's rented for the most part.
So who manages that? Did you find a realtor that deals with short-term rental? Because that's something I'm looking at, right? Like I'm kind of, like I said earlier, we were talking before we started filming.
Yeah.
Like I'm just focusing on the laundromat venture right now because what's the old Confucius proverb? It's like he who chases 2 rabbits catches none.
Right.
And the way I am, I'm trying to chase 7 at a time, not just 2. I'm like right. So I'm sticking to that, but I would like to get short-term rentals just in places we like to vacation. You know what I mean? Like, because it's not cheap.
No.
You get on the shore nowadays, it's like you're spending $8,000 for 2 weeks in Wildwood.
It's crazy.
For a condo.
I know.
It's
nuts.
a couple summers, that's a down payment on a house.
Right.
And if you can make some profit, and I know there's a ton of like, excuse me.
Yeah.
Sorry.
good.
Tax incentives.
Yeah.
To that.
Mm-hmm. We were actually looking in Ventnor. We were looking like Ventnor, Brigantine at first, and then, we were about to go under contract on a house in Ventnor that we needed to completely redo, and then we were going to do short-term rentals. It's right next to AC, so we're like, this should be good. It ended up falling through, and then that's when we were like, you know what? Instead of having a house down the beach that you can only rent out for, really 5 months. I mean, that's like the hot season. Florida's, all year round. So it's like we can get rentals. It's going to be, people are going to Florida always, for vacation. So that's really what made us shift over that way, being able to have a rental unit that we should be able to get tenants in all year round.
Now, is that something you think you'll continue to scale out? Do you think you'll get more short-term rentals, or a lot of your properties right now, if I'm not mistaken, do you utilize Section 8?
So, good question. Yeah. So, what we're doing now, the first question, the goal is obviously, like, I think we'll end up selling that Daytona house. We'll see what happens with it, and then upgrading, maybe, and buy another house either in Florida or, better, maybe something bigger, something better, just keep upgrading. That's the goal. Now, a lot of our houses in the city, we switched over to PHA, Philadelphia Housing Authority. And really the reason why is because I was very against it at first. I'm like, I don't want to have to deal with any of that stuff.
Sure, you hear horror stories.
Right. They're going to trash the house. They're going to do, whatever. So I was like, I just want to get nurses, whatever, who's living in the city, younger, right?
Or whatever.
Girls are graduating college. Like, we dealt with them. And they were late a lot. A lot of times we weren't getting our money, or there was something coming up. There was always excuses. And then we had another house that we were renting out where this lady was living there she was paying her rent, and then something happened, and then wasn't able to pay. And then we had to evict her and get her out. And it was a headache, and we lost money from doing that. So we kind of transitioned to the PHA model because I realized they're willing to pay a lot more for rent. The rent they're paying down there is crazy. I mean, it's $500 to $1,000 more than market value. So you're like, all right, you're going to pay me an extra $500 or $1,000 a month, and it's going to be a direct deposit into my bank account on the first without any headaches. I mean, obviously, there's still some headaches, but knowing that most of that money is being guaranteed and it's going to be more than some that's not guaranteed, it was like, let's transition. And then that's really kind of what we're doing right now.
So they give you what, like 80%?
Some of them 100%.
100%. Wow, really?
A lot of
them. The PHA, do they police the properties? I've heard sometimes like they will intervene, on issues with tenants.
Yes.
Rather than like maybe like traditional. Is it like, so is that considered Section 8, or it's a different subsidiary?
So it's not. I mean, it is. There's different programs that you can do. Some, like we had a veteran who was renting through us, and it's not really considered Section 8, but it's government housing.
Okay, so it's government subsidized funding.
Right.
So with that, I've heard people mention recently that they've bought rentals and called the Section 8 office, and they're just like, nah, we're not giving out money right now. Mm-hmm. So is this like the whole government shutdown?
Where are they? Do you know where they're doing it at?
That was a Delco house.
In Delco?
That was Delco. So I don't know.
I guess it depends on each tenant. I mean, they're giving out money for sure right now.
So they are. So we can wipe that.
Clean. Yeah, I don't know where you...
That clickbait, the front of the newspaper, fear and doom and gloom headline.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's good to know.
Yeah, and how it works is you do have to have PHA come to inspect the property. Everything has to be like up to code. Certain things got to be there, and certain things you can't have in the house, which we got the model down. We know what they're looking for and what they want to be. So for the most part, we have a good relationship with them too, just because of how many properties we have. We're able to pass those inspections, but sometimes some of the tenants you're dealing with will break stuff, or stuff won't. The house, they'll complain about toilet or something not working, and then they could call PHA, and then PHA could come out and inspect us and say we need to come fix it, which we're good landlords.
So is that the process? Like, is your tenant calling you directly?
So they were.
Were.
Yeah, so they were. I was always in control. Like I was running everything until this year. We had to switch over to a property management company, which I'm happy with. You know, I mean, they did a good job. They're doing a good job for us, and it's nice because they're handling all the tenants calls. They're pretty much just like, all right, Bob, this is what we got. You know, there's an oven's not working. Like today, I got a call from our property management company about an oven not working, and then I just called my guy and sent him. So there was no like direct conversation between me and the tenant anymore, which is nice. And then certain things like we want to do most of the work just because we can save money. But say like, for example, we don't have guys in the area or they're tied up certain places, and we want to get something done. They offer a service where they can fix it for us too, which the price isn't too bad.
Okay. Oh, so I was under the assumption that you guys were managing all your properties.
Yeah.
So you got a property management company now.
Yeah.
So that's got to be that's like a huge leap from basically like having, it's still a full-time job what you guys are doing, but like you can put your energy into more revenue generating
absolutely. I mean,
tasks, right?
Right.
And dealing with it.
Yeah.
So what is the property? Do you have all your properties under them?
Yeah.
What do they charge? Like what's that look like?
So, we got a really good deal. They charge 6%. And we had some personal issues come up this year where we had to transition to a property management. But yeah, we were doing it all at first, and I was kind of against it because I'm like, what's the point? You know, they're just kind of the middleman. You know, the tenant can just call me if there's an issue instead of calling, you know, Mike, and then Mike calls me. Like, what's the difference? Why am I paying you 6%? But then I realized, like, yeah, it is nice having them field those calls and not having to deal with 100 calls or texts and blowing up your phone. Also, them collecting rent. Like, so we have tenants that aren't through PHA, right? And they do got to pay. And as I'm sure you know or you've heard of, not every tenant's great. I mean, tenants, some of them are, but a lot of them are late or there's issues in their life and they're not paying the water bill or there's always stuff going on. So having them handle all that stuff is going to be huge. I mean, we just brought them on this year. So that's why I think, like you mentioned, I mean, I think we're really going to grow we're going to grow a lot faster now because it's like I'm not even dealing with that anymore. I'm strictly focusing on buy, you know, just growing.
So that was like you weren't even looking to do that. So kind of like like you said, like you had a rough year, right? Obviously, you had the pivot.
Yeah, like crazy year to say the least. But
but it's nice to see that you guys are back.
Yeah,
right. Like I remember I was texting you about asking for commercial comps, and then the next thing I'm like, where's Bob at? You know what I mean? Then you answer me a couple. Whatever. But
yep. Yeah. No. I mean, grateful, you know, that we're back up and running. We didn't have to sell any properties or anything, and that we're able to really focus on the future. You know, we're looking to grow. We're more motivated now than ever, which is a blessing. So
yeah, you dialed in. You know, I feel like when people face like certain things, whatever it is in life, any kind of setbacks, right? Like there's two ways you can go. Right, and they're like too drastic.
Right,
it can motivate you, or you could just be like, you know, fuck this.
Yeah,
you know. So it's good to see you guys are taking the right trajectory.
Right. Yeah, it's like you can bounce back from. I mean, it really comes down to the person. You know, you can use it to motivate you. There's going to be bad things that happen to you in your life. You know, there is, and it's more about how you respond. You know, it's all about the comeback compared to the setback.
Sure, for sure, man.
And yeah, I mean, I'm excited. I mean, we're at 32. We'll be at 34 by the end of this month. And I mean, if I come back here in a year, I mean, I realistically hope we're at around 70.
I would say 100.
Yeah.
Let's get 100.
Let's get to 100. Yeah, end of next year maybe.
Yeah, 100. So, so I mean, it's pretty interesting, right? Like I think, like especially with social media, right? Everyone gets kind of fed this, you know, buy real estate, quit your job thing. But so you guys were a success story in that.
Yeah.
Where do you think your entrepreneurial drive came from? Is it something like you think you had? Like, obviously, I know you like. Is it your sister and your brother-in-law? They own Dom and Mia's, right, in Springfield.
Yes.
Restaurant.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Place is sick.
Yeah.
I like that place.
Yeah, it's great. So, yeah, it's kind of funny. My entire family are entrepreneurs, I feel like. So my grandparents actually had a bakery called DeMaio's Pastries back in the day. It was in South Philly, and then it was in Long Lane, Upper Darby, before Upper Darby kind of turned, or that area kind of turned a little bit. But and they had to sell it. But they they owned a bakery, and then my Aunt Kathy owned Kathy Collins School Dance, CCSD Dance Company, which my sisters own right now.
Oh, your sisters took that over.
Yes.
So that's the studio that they've all been a part of. I know, like I always see like their dance things on social media and stuff, and like I was like, wow, they're like really into this. But it makes sense that that's like your family business, and that's awesome. That they picked that up.
Yeah, sadly, my Aunt Kathy passed away, and then they took it over. So they run the dance studio. And then, my brother-in-law, Steve, and Jenna started Dom and Mia's. Both of Dom and Mia's was their children, that passed away, and they started a restaurant in their remembrance. And, it's awesome. It's right on Saxor Ave.
So it's like, more than just the restaurant. It's like sentimental. And that's now, like, was Steve in the restaurant business to begin with? Like, what was that process like? Because, you hear restaurants are a tough business to start. Like, I would love to own a bar restaurant. Yeah. The idea of it, it's like, it's sexy in a sense. You know what I mean? Like, park out front, you walk around, you say what's up to everybody. Like, how's your meal? I comped your martini. Right. Like, it seems fun, but I heard it's a very, very difficult business to have success in. Yeah. And they've been open, like 4 or 5 years now?
Yeah. I mean, it's funny. He started it when every restaurant was closing down in COVID.
Yeah,
so
everyone's running
like,
this way.
Yeah,
He's like, it's kind of weird.
He's like, you know what? I'm just going to start this restaurant. We're like, all right, let's go. I love it, But out of college, he was managing a bar and a restaurant. So he was familiar with managing, somewhat of a bar and restaurant. But he was in the insurance industry, and he was just like, you know what? I want to do something, to stand out and do something on my own. And he started Dom and Mia's on Saxor Ave. So, and lucky enough, most restaurants, I forget the percentage of restaurants that fail within a year? Is it like
it's like a 90%?
90%. So you're talking 9 out of 10 restaurants don't make it past a year.
Yeah, it's crazy.
They beat that stat, and it's been doing really well. So, so they own Dom and Mia's, CCSD Dance Company, and then my brother-in-law, Nick Giaccherni.
The Two Moods.
Two Moods, yeah.
So this is the popular one, right? It's funny. My brother Aiden works at Springfield Beverage, and he was like, dude, they can't keep these things on the shelves.
Really?
Like this one specifically, the Crush. Yeah, I heard they're awesome. And you're seeing them everywhere. Yeah. Actually, did you end up investing with him on that?
So I didn't. It's something we got to revisit, Now we're back up and running. But I didn't end up investing. Did you? Did you or Chris?
Same thing. I think Chris did. Right. I think Chris did. But when Nick had approached me with the pitch deck, we had either just got married or about to get married, so like my money was tied up. I had just changed jobs. I took a gigantic pay cut.
Really?
And I was like sitting there, like, you want to. Actually, it's probably better off I didn't. Right. Right. The fact I didn't, this thing's gonna be, the next stateside one day. Just kidding, but you know what I mean. Yeah. No, but I just the way my liquidity was set up at the time, I couldn't invest in it. But I thought it was an awesome idea.
Yeah, it's different. He had a bunch of different flavors, and now he's just doing the Orange Crush because that's what everybody's buying. He's doing really well with that. So he's like, why sell all these different flavors if I can just sell one that's gonna really fly off the shelves?
Sure, yeah, give the people what they want, right? And then now they're like, are they just in beer stores? Is it, what's it considered? Is this considered
it's a vodka seltzer, but they're everywhere now. Yeah, they're in wine and spirits.
Are they in stadiums? I feel like someone said they saw him in a stadium.
Yeah, so he was in they're in Temple stadiums, Penn State, Beaver Stadium. I think it's Beaver. They're in college
I think it was Temple specifically. Someone sent me a picture like, isn't this Chris's brother?
Yeah, with like a Temple Two Moods logo. Yeah. So he's doing really well. They're growing. That the Orange Crush brand. That's going to be the signature one. It's going to be the main one he's selling. So
and they just had like a second kid, right?
Yeah.
So he's powering through this raising a family. Like that's
which is wild.
That's
I know.
no easy feat.
No,
you know what I
not
mean?
at all. Yeah, I mean yeah, it's definitely. I mean, he has having 2 kids. I mean, Bella's only 1 year old, and then having
Oh,
a
they did
newborn.
2 under 2.
Yeah, 2 under 1.5. Like
Maniacs. Maniacs.
Yeah, it's crazy. So I mean, it's a lot at once, and then also trying to, you know, from the laundromat, starting your own business, doing your own thing. I mean, it's definitely tough in the beginning.
Oh yeah, yeah. I think there's like 4 different parts of business. It's like you have that initial euphoric stage where you're like, yeah, we're gonna start this business. It's gonna be awesome, and then like the reality sets in, right? You know, then you start to head. I think what's called like the valley of despair, where you're like, you know, you're like, oh man, like, should I have done this? Like,
Right.
This is kind of getting tough. And then you're down there, you're in the valley, you're fighting for your life, and then you know things start turning around. You start learning. You know, you start making a little bit of money, and stuff's getting easier. Then you're heading back up. Then you eventually get back to that peak.
Yep.
Where you're like, okay, we did this. Now let's double down and repeat the process.
Yep, that's the goal. You know, because a lot of people, when times get tough, throw in the towel. You know, they give up, or you know, they're like, all right, it didn't work out, or they didn't try to. I feel like if you don't have enough passion for it or desire to win, like I'm so motivated to never lose. Like I'm like, no, I'm gonna, no matter what, I'm all in. I'm going to grow this company no matter what it takes. You know?
sure.
So I feel like you have to have that mindset of not giving up. Times are going to get tough. I mean, every day, especially, you know, I'm getting a million calls. Everyone's like, oh, you're doing amazing. You own all these properties. It's like you have no idea how much stress and like how much actual work goes into each property that we're doing, because it is a lot.
Yeah,
know?
you got all these properties. You can foot the bill tonight.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yeah, take care of it. And like you're like, dude, there's $100,000 just went into my account. 120 just went out.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? It's not all the glitz and glam.
Exactly.
But yeah, hey, on the topic of, you know, local small business, I'm gonna do a word from our sponsors, right? So we got Jerry's Pickles. Let me pull this up for a second. Go to the photo library. So we're actually able to officially partner with Jerry. Last time I was just he was an unofficial partner, but we're gonna work something out together. So I'm gonna read off this little ad, right? So, all right, listen up. I found the best pickles I've ever had. It's called Jerry's Pickles. Yeah, Jerry. Guy sounds like he knows his way around a sandwich. And he does. These things are unreal. They got Butch's Deli Dill. Tastes like you're standing in a 1970s corner deli arguing about the Eagles with your grandpop at an earlier age. Then there's the Hot Honey, sweet, spicy, and kind of seductive, if I'm being honest. It is. Did you try these yet?
No, I need to.
I'm gonna send you some after this because they're actually delicious. And then you got the horseradish. This one will blast your sinuses so hard you'll start crying about your childhood. It's powerful stuff. You can grab 2 jars for $25 or just get the whole shebang, all 3 for $40. Do it. You'll eat 1 jar and immediately judge every other pickle you've ever met. Go to Jerry's Pickles and order a bundle and use our promo code Unfolded20 for 20% off of your next order. So we got Jerry's Pickle, crunch louder, live better, and possibly ruin other pickles for yourself forever.
I love it.
So shout out to ChatGPT and Jerry's Pickle. But yeah, they're really good. So like that's kind of like the driving factor behind this podcast, right? Like I'm super intrigued by people that just, gamble on themselves, start businesses, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Right. I know real estate's been a big topic, for a lot of people the last 10 years, but like you can literally start a booze company. You can start a pickle company. And as long as you're, driven and like we said last episode, have a huge set of balls. Yeah. Right. You gotta have balls or whatever. Some kind of testicular fortitude but yeah, it's a lot to take that leap in. Yeah.
It's all about betting on yourself. A lot of people I feel like are scared to do that, and never really, if they're passionate about something or, want to do something, don't end up doing it. I know a lot of people like that. Or, for example, real estate. So many people reach out to me all the time. Hey, I want to get into real estate. I want to do this. I want to learn this. And I'm like, yeah, that's awesome. It's just all about doing it. Everybody wants to talk about it, but how many people actually want to actually do it?
Yeah, for sure. It's something you should look into doing. I got this from like Drew, like we're the revamp 365 studios right now.
Yeah.
Drew's built a real estate empire. Right. Super intelligent guy. And, you know, we're getting blasted by questions. Yeah. He's been in this game a lot longer. So he gets it too. And like his time, like he's super critical about how he spends his time. You know, he's building like a huge platform right now he's been working on for years. It's the revamp 365.ai. Like we spoke about it earlier. And that's like, anytime I go to a meetup with Drew, people come up to him and be like, hey, Drew, I just bought another property off your software.
Yeah.
Like it's nuts what he's created. And where was I going with this? Yeah, it's crazy what he's built. And to the topic of where did we start out with that? I lost track of thought.
I think where you going with like
this is the all right, we're back people. Sorry. And we're back. It's a little later this episode. I forgot where I was going with it. No, so valuing your time is the point I was going towards. Right? So if someone reaches out to him, I think now he's like, all right, you can book a call. Like Nick Massini does this. Nick wholesales houses.
Yeah.
That was where I originally saw the idea, and I think Drew does it as well. But like if someone reaches out to you, be like, hey, you can book a call with me.
Right.
And it's $100, $75, $50, something. Because now you're not finding yourself in these dead-end conversations with people that aren't going to take action. Like if someone's going to spend $100 on something, they're willing to make some kind of commitment. So that could be something for you guys to look into. I think like Calendly or, you know, there's apps that it's like pretty user-friendly to set up.
Yeah, but I checked it out before. There's like you can use it like the free one, but then you can pay for premium, which I do want to do because I feel like it's worth it.
Yeah.
Especially he finds off-market deals. He's able to get you.
Oh, yeah, the revamp software. Oh, yeah. So you already have it?
Yeah, I have the software.
So he's actually made huge advancements to it. You know,
really?
let me pull this up. He just sent me a text message earlier about everything it's got going on. You know, I pay for the top tier, and I like it because, you know, when people message me about looking up properties on the MLS, like the MLS is kind of barbaric in a sense, right? Like the user interface of it's terrible. So if someone hits me with a property, they're looking for comps. Like I just open up revamp.
Yeah.
And I just boom right there. So he's got, what do we got? We got 4 tiers now. So we got the starter, $50 a month. So you're getting like all MLS. Like I had someone call me the other day, like, yo, should I get my real estate license so I have access to MLS? And I was like, unless like not really. I mean, you got to go through the course, you know, spend the money with for all the, like, the applications, sign with a brokerage. Like it's kind of a lot. Like, so if you utilize something like this, you got the starter, it's getting you, you know, MLS deal finder. You can do buy boxes, you get discounted skip tracing, and then it just goes up. You got pro. You can become like an affiliate reseller. So like you guys got into some wholesaling.
Yeah.
Over the last year or two, right?
Yeah, so we do wholesaling. We're partnered with a title company. We're going to be starting our own title company. So we're doing literally a little bit of everything. And then I'm now I was a commercial broker working for only doctors and dentists. I just switched over to your brokerage, you know, doing residential now. So we're pretty much doing everything.
Yeah. So that's the same license, right?
Yep,
so people
same
always
license,
ask,
yeah.
they're like, oh, well, you know, you're not a commercial broker, or like, oh, you're not a residential, but it's literally.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
Yep, you just switch.
So we got the scale, but I think this is the one you guys would benefit from, right? So he's got the Deal Maker Syndicate. This is their top level. This one has like the auto offers, and it says here, we guarantee your next deal within 6 months.
Really?
With participation.
Okay.
So basically, it's like if you don't find a deal, you're gonna make. If you find a deal, you're making this $500 right back. But it says gives you all the scale features, deal guarantee, weekly calls, and mastermind. So you know we touched on it briefly earlier. Like I'm in a mastermind, the OTS mastermind with Michael and some other business owners, and that alone, right? People might not want to make the investment on it because there's not an instant trackable return on investment. But I think the return on those investments on stuff like, you know, the right courses and, you know, joining the right communities is just exponentially larger than what you'd expect. So you get preferred lender connections, right? So you're going to be in a pool of investors. You got free skip tracing up to $1,000 a month, half price communications, and then affiliate reselling. So basically you're getting access to his buyer pool too, which is nuts, right?
Yeah.
Like that alone. Just being able to, you find a deal, you throw it out there instead of like 1,000 people, it's 20,000 people are getting to see it. Like someone's going to buy it. You just.
Yeah.
max that resale price out.
Right. That's awesome. I mean, yeah, that's something I'm definitely interested in learning more about. Yeah, because I even saw him post something that he had like 4 houses or something under contract, or he was going to buy them, and then he ended up just getting rid of them also.
I think he bought 10 houses this year by accident.
It's crazy. That is insane.
So for people that say there aren't deals out there, right? Drew Furniss bought, I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's around 10 houses by accident testing his auto offer program. Yeah,
Sheesh.
So 10 houses just playing around.
Not even trying.
Yeah, like you asked him, he's
impressive.
Like he's still flipping. I'm like, he's still flipping? He's like, yeah, I don't know. Like I keep finding good deals and I'm going to keep buying good deals.
Right.
Right. But now, so we were touching upon like different verticals of real estate. Now, are you actively pursuing your wholesaling company?
Yeah. I mean, we're back up and running again on wholesaling. I mean, so pretty much just from our network of people dealing with so many different agents, wholesalers, I feel like it's so connected. We know everybody. If we could send a deal, or if I see a deal, that I'm like, oh, this is pretty good, or, it makes sense, but it's not for us. Like, I don't want to buy it for our company. I have other buyers, or I know people who have buyers, other wholesalers or agents that have buyers who will want it, and that we're able to add an assignment fee. Like, I mean, you've wholesaled before. There's some serious money. Like Nick Messina, I think you mentioned that there's some people making some serious money from just wholesaling, which is awesome. I mean,
Nick's a good follow for that. He's like, especially recently, he puts out like a lot of honest, info on that business. I tried to start a wholesaling company last year, but like as we talk about, chasing too many, rabbits at once.
Right.
I thought I could just dump 40, 50K into buying data and marketing. Like I was spending, I think $2,000 a month just on Delaware County data.
Right.
And then, $4,000 on mail. And dude, I was missing phone calls. Like I was trying to do it all myself. Right. Like I should have, making an investment like that, I should have known better to make a hire.
Right.
Like even like a VA, just someone to take the inbound calls off the marketing, because they're getting all this mail. They're talking and selling to the first person that answers.
Right.
Right. They don't know you from, whatever.
Right.
So, I mean, I don't like to look at failures as failures. I think it was a great learning experience. It got me in touch with some really great people. Like I met a lot of people from just like hitting them up, asking them questions, like specific questions about wholesaling.
Yeah.
Not like, hey, how can I get my where can I get my first deal at? I'm like, yeah, I'm using this computer program and I can't figure out how to mass dial or like, you know what I mean? Do you know anyway? Like, what program are you using? Like stuff like that. So,
right.
But
I think I remember asking you when we went out last year, like the beginning of this year, and you're like, I'm doing this wholesaling business. And then I think you were like a couple months before that, you're like, I'll never wholesale because you did do a wholesale where you spent like 30 hours and only made like a couple grand or something off it. Is that right?
Probably. Yeah. I've had all kind of different ventures. No, the first deal I ever did in real estate was the Drew. It was like 3 phone calls. And,
smooth.
Called him. He gave me $1,000 assignment fee. And I was like, all right, that's awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, now my recent stint with it, I just tried to go too big and not focus on the principles of it, which is talking to people.
Right.
Right. I spent more time learning a CRM and how to, manage connecting them all than just picking the phone up and making the phone calls or knocking on the doors.
Right.
And some of the best deals I've gotten were organic. Like I tell everybody, like my grandpa, best source of leads. He's like, he's like, Tom died. Here's his like nephew's number. Give him a call. And you go, but like you already have a pre-established relationship. They're like, oh, you're Carmen's grandson, and then you get face to face. But without that, just calling out of the blue, like there's a lot of like even like tonality on the phone. Like there's a lot of aspects to it that you could focus on learning before just being like, I put money in, I get more out. Like the caveman tactic that I brought the approach to it.
Right.
So
yeah, but as you touched on earlier, like the best deals are organically because always, like having that personal relationship and deals just falling on your lap. I mean, we got started in wholesale because we were renovating a property. There was new construction next door, and then there was this old lady who lived on that block. She she lived there her whole life, but she would come out, and we were nice to her. She would like bring us cookies and see us. Like I would just be going by, like checking on
just
stuff.
being a good person.
We became friendly with her. Like, hey, watch the house. You know, nobody's living there, nobody's there. We're doing we're renovating. She's like, yeah, and then she ended up being like, hey, I have another property. It might have been her family's that fell to her. She's like, the back of the house is missing. Like, I don't know if you guys would want it. And I'm like, where's it at? You know? And then she's like, oh, it's in Germantown. I'm like, okay, like, that's not really where I buy, but this is something that I probably know where buyers are, you know?
Sure.
So I go, what do you want for it? You know, she gave us a price. I'm like, all right, yeah, let me see what I can do, you know? And then we got it out to somebody, and we ended up making like 2 calls and made $20,000 off of it.
Off 2 phone calls.
2 phone calls made
So,
20 grand.
A
off
couple
that.
months of relationship building.
Right.
Some free cookies.
Yeah.
And 2 phone calls.
It was. I was like, wow, because I was like, does wholesaling really work? Like how? Like I was skeptical, and I was like, okay, I just made 20 grand off doing 2 minutes of work, you know,
Sure.
which is awesome. Obviously, not every deal's like that, you know. Not everyone's gonna.
But they're out there.
They're definitely
they're out there.
I mean,
They're possible.
Yeah, we've came across them, and then we were spending like the Law Development's our wholesaling company that Development Acquisitions is our LLC where we have all our properties in.
Okay,
and then
the development's the construction and wholesaling.
Yeah, and we did Facebook ads, we shot commercials, you know, we were spending.
I saw that.
Yeah.
I actually, you know,
we got a lot
I
of
seen
people.
one of your commercials recently, and I was like, I was cracking up because it's actually like really good quality.
It is.
Like,
yeah.
Who did that for you? Spent some money on that?
Yeah, we used Create by Influence in Jersey. They did. We hired this guy Brandon to come shoot the video, but that's who our marketing company was, and we spent a good amount of money on Facebook ads, you know, Instagram ads, a lot, and we didn't really see the return of investment. Compared to how much you were spending on that stuff. I mean, it was a certain, we could have kept going with it for a longer time too, but it was like, all right, this isn't really, you know, we're spending a lot. We might want to change some things up. So we took a different approach, but it's just crazy to how like we were able to our best wholesale deals are all organically, or people that we ran into. A tenant who was moving out of a property that I moved into my property. She's like, yeah, I have to move. My landlord, the owner, wants to sell the property. I'm like, what's he want? You know what I mean? Yeah. So by just connecting with people and getting out there, it's crazy like what you stumble upon.
Yeah. I was talking to my buddy yesterday, and he got in the wholesaling like late last year, early this year. Mm-hmm. And dude, he's not doing any paid marketing. I think he has Deal Machine. I think he uses Drew's app for comps and stuff. And someone tipped him off about a house. Right. And he was up in Plymouth meeting, driving to go look at the house. And he saw a different one, like down the street on the way to look at a house.
Yeah.
And he stopped, traced the people on, you know, Deal Machine. Mm-hmm. And I don't want to blow up his spot and say how much the assignment fee was. But when you hear like just near 6-figure assignments off, you know, a couple months of 2 months of relationship building and just getting somebody to like you and doing it the right way where you're helping them, right? You know, like this house was dilapidated. Like I think they were having insurance issues. They were an older couple. Like it was to the point where like it was like causing them health issues,
right?
You know, and he went in and he put the work in. Like he used his knowledge that he learned over the last year and led with integrity and like was transparent with them. Like, yeah, I'm going to end up selling it for X amount. And they're like, we don't care. Just get it away from us. And if we make some money off it, we're ecstatic.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And dude, big assignments. So they're out there. Like stuff, you know. Now I want to start a wholesaling company again. But
yeah, no, I mean, they're definitely out there. I mean, we're really looking to revamp and get out, like start really doing more wholesaling too, just because there is deals. And it's like, why not? If we're able to make money off of them, it doesn't work for us to buy personally, then somebody else will.
People are buying. Mm-hmm. Like I made a couple. I probably paid a little bit too much for a project or two this year.
Really?
Just trying to gamble on, you know, not cutting corners, but like saving on material costs, being a realtor myself. Right. Right. Like
flip or like
flips. Yeah, doing some flips. And it's just like, you know, wasn't giving it my full attention. projects taking a little longer than they should and whatever. And there's that profit margin just right, like you have like a daily burn rate.
Right.
Right. Do you guys focus on that at all? Do you have like a metric for that or
like a daily burn rate?
Yeah, like I guess once you keep growing, like you say if you have like 5-6 projects at a time, you're gonna know like what your daily spend is between the loan, like the cost, what you're losing by it not being sold, and like being able to reinvest the money.
Yeah, so with us, it's a little different because we're not flipping any of them. Like, we're holding on to them, which is nice.
Yeah, so it's different to buying.
Yeah, like I think we are going to start doing some flips in Delco and start flipping some properties. But as long as we can, I would rather hold them because the asset's only going to go up, and somebody else is paying my mortgage, paying the house off for me while I'm able to cash flow and make money off it every single month. Obviously, the property management dealing with the tenants. I'm still dealing with them somewhat, but I feel like it's worth it if you can hold on to it because 30 years from now, how much do you think that property's going to cost?
Yeah, the way things have been going, right? Each property might be worth $1 million.
Right, exactly.
Where you're like, right now buying it for 200, 300K is crazy, but the way, the dollar is going. And
it's like, have 100 of those.
Each one you buy is like a mini 401k,
right?
Like a lot of people like to utilize those investment structures, but the house is, you make that upfront investment, someone pays it down. And that's what I tell people when they're like, hey, I want to quit my job and live off rentals. I'm like, it's going to take a lot.
Yeah.
You're not going to buy 3-4 homes and, be golfing 4 days a week.
Right.
You know what I mean? You're going to probably lose money off on just a couple, depending on how you manage them.
Yeah.
Right? A roof goes, a water heater goes.
Yeah. If you don't have.
So, but when someone comes to me and they're like, I want to do it for like, okay, when my kids go to college, I'll sell one. Like, like a more long-term investment. But you guys at the scale, you're doing that.
Yeah.
You're able to kind of reap the benefits of both aspects of that return.
We're extremely lucky because we have 3 different guys who own the company, and we all specialize in 3 different things that's able to really scale it and grow. So it's like, it works out perfect, because so many people are like, oh, I want to, start getting into real estate. I want to start investing in properties. There's so much money to be made. And it's like, there is, but there's definitely a lot of headache, even with having all 3 of us. I mean, Dean's more of a silent partner. Dean has a full-time job.
He's the man behind the curtain.
Yeah, exactly. Right. He's still there. But I mean, like, it's a lot for sure. Even having a property manager and then just doing a
And you guys have all been friends forever too, right?
Yeah.
So I'm sure like you and Cans, like you probably don't get into it, but if you have, I'm sure there's been times
we get into it.
You're wrestling. So like, a contractor walks in and he's got you in a headlock or vice versa, and you're like beating each other up.
Yeah,
It's like, come back in 5 minutes. We're gonna sort this out.
Nah, we're good now. But now starting out when there was a lot of stress and like we're putting our lives on the line, or like we're stepping out from what we're doing full time. It's stressful, and then we see different views on certain things, and that happens. But now it's to the point where, okay, we went from 4 houses to 34 in 3.5 years. You know what I mean? It's like now, and that's with taking some time off. Like now it's like I really believe we're going to be able to do that in a year. So we have a system down. As long as the market too, the interest rates, everything plays a factor.
Sure. Just got to pivot.
Right. No matter what, you just got to pivot.
Yeah. Yeah, man. So, but I think that, you dropped a lot of knowledge today for the listeners, and appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, man. Absolutely.
I think we're running. I mean, I could sit here and talk all night.
Yeah, we can talk real estate forever.
But yeah, man. But yeah, thank you for coming on, and it's great to see.
Yeah, brother.
You guys come back.
Yeah, man. We're gonna keep growing. I hope that maybe next time we'll have Kevin and Dean on too.
Yeah,
see where we're
try
at
to figure
down the
out.
line.
Like I said, I'll call engineering and to figure out how to set up a second and third microphone. Watch a couple YouTube videos or something called Drew in. But yeah, man, appreciate you.
Yeah, man.
And we'll have to do this again sometime.
I appreciate the opportunity, brother. I'm excited for you, dude. It's gonna be awesome.
You too.